You're too much. Get on a couple minutes early. Kind of get some people in here. Y'all, I gotta somehow figure out why Instagram is so up close. Look at how, like, it's zoomed up on my face. Hello, hello. What's up, Kelly? What is up, everybody? What is up? We have an awesome special guest. Let me see. Just waiting on her to join tonight. But yeah, so how has everybody's week been going? Let me know in the comments below. How is everything going this week, guys? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, August 18th. Can you believe it? It's already over halfway through the month, which is crazy. Do you guys got your coffee, tea, anything like that? What's up, Rachel? What's up? What's up? Canada here. Let me know where you guys are from tonight. Plan you're on. Any newbies on here? What's up? Good evening. Good evening. All right. Having a good week. That is awesome. All righty. Let's see. Going on here to make sure I can see my stuff. Just a couple more minutes to let people hop on tonight. Gonna go on here, turn this on so I can see. Alrighty, let's see. All right, everybody. Yes, Rachel, your hubby left you for a month. You got this. That's why you're here tonight. We all can be your friend for that. Alrighty, hello, hello. All right, well, newbie here from Canada. What's up? What's up? All right, I think it is without my pleasure to, first of all, I'm going to pull this up real quick. If you guys don't know, I'm Jordan Clyde from Clyde's Daily Life over on Instagram, and I'm one of your iTrackBites investors, and I do the live meetings every week. If this is your first time being with us, thank you and welcome. But just so happens our Transformation Tuesday is the woman that we are interviewing tonight, which is totally awesome. I seen that today. Our social media crew sent that over, and I think that is so awesome with Cody and everything, and I'm sure everybody here is going to have an awesome time with her. And if you don't know about her journey, she is Healthy Mama _Bray, BRAY. If you don't follow her on Instagram, go ahead and give her a follow. And I think without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's live, if you guys don't mind, and we can get to know more about her journey. So, Cody, I see you are on here. I'm going to restream, like, add in new features. So there's actually how that will put me in the bottom right corner. That's what I'm thinking. So we're going to try this out to make sure that everything is going to work good. First time tonight for that. So let's go ahead and see real quick. Hold on. Let's add you on here. All right. What's going on? Okay. Spotlight puts as a primary active speaker. There we go. Oh, here we go. It's coming. Hold on, Cody. Come on. There we go. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. That's like perfect because I can see you on Instagram. And I'm just on the bottom right-hand corner. So this is awesome. Can you see me at least? I'm like really small on the screen. Okay, I hope you can see me and you can hear me. Sounds good. Alrighty. All right, everybody. This is Cody from Instagram. She's one of our iTrackBites track stars that have been on a couple times, actually. Spotlight's on here, and I thought it would be really cool to have her invited to the live tonight to kind of give you a little lowdown about what plan she's following, her journey with success, not success, where she's at right now, etc. And I think the first probably good thing for you, Cody, is to get you just kind of going about who you
I'm Cody, and I'm from Oklahoma. I'm 25.
I can hear the accent.
I'm 25. I'm married. I have a 2-year-old. and I lost a son in January.
Oh,
So
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
on my second postpartum journey, and I'm almost back to goal since then. So
Cool.
that's the start.
So how old are you?
I'm 25. I just
25.
turned 25, yes.
Just turned 25. So when exactly, so from before, like first of all, what got you over to iTrackBites is my first question.
I lost all my original weight on Points Plus, and Weight Watchers didn't offer that anymore. And I like that it's affordable, and I love the points program. I like that I can change back and forth to calories if I want to do calories.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can do low carb if that's what I feel like doing for a month or so, kind of to change it up to kickstart my weight again. So,
No, I really like that. I really like that. A lot of people we find that are hopping over on the iTrackBites train is because it's not even really the fact that, from before, like a lot of the ambassadors on here will kind of back me up on this one. Before it was like the big thing with iTrackBites is like, oh, we get points plus, you know what I mean, or carb conscience. But we're starting to get so many people that are moving over, surprisingly, for the calorie as a second metric feature, which I'm guessing you probably use yourself, correct? If
yeah.
you're kind of keeping yourself in track. So that's awesome to hear that. So what made you decide, let's go to the very, very beginning. So like, where were you at when you first started weight loss, like, or just thinking about weight loss?
I was about to start my CODA program in college. I had been in college for 2 years, and my mom had done Weight Watchers and all that, and I knew she had been successful, and I was like, if I'm going to be a therapist and work with other people on getting them healthy, get their body healthy, I need to start with myself. So when I started college, I tried to set a goal by the graduation. It was a 2-year program that I would try to be down to where I would like to be and be healthy. So that was what got me started at the beginning.
Gotcha. So what exactly did you go for in college again? I kind of like broke out on my end. What exactly
I,
was?
I'm an occupational therapy assistant.
Oh, so CODA.
Yeah, I'm a CODA.
Gotcha. I actually, a long time ago, went to go be a CODA, but long story short, I didn't. That's super awesome. So just about your job, like, what setting do you work in right now in healthcare?
I am in the nursing home setting right now. I'm in a SNF.
Gotcha.
So,
Right now you're on a SNF. That's
yes.
awesome. We have a lot of people on here that are in the healthcare field, so that's pretty awesome. And that's good to know about you because healthcare is like all of us frontline workers, especially healthcare workers, like we're still struggling. You know what I mean? And the fact that you're still posting on Instagram and still losing weight or trying to maintain where you're at, that shows the type of person you are. So congratulations on that, especially in being in such a hard field right now. So so you're 25, so about around what time did you graduate college then?
I graduated 22. I was 22.
You were 22. So it's been about 3 years post graduation.
Yes.
So you got down to goal weight, I'm guessing, around 22. So how long were you at goal weight? Did you just was there, of course, like you got married, had your first kid, all that stuff. How did that go along with it?
I was at goal weight so I got at goal weight around January, and I found out I was pregnant with my son in October. So I would maintain goal weight that whole entire time. And then I got pregnant, and that really panicked me because I got down to weight, and so I was gaining weight during pregnancy. But after I had him, I got back down to goal weight again after him.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. Well, that's pretty cool. So what exactly, your journey of how was it when you first were starting, like way back in the day? You know what I mean? So I always talk to some people about this, like Instagram, like our apps, the phones, everything is so convenient for us now. You know what I mean? To where it's like, oh, we have access at literally our fingertips to get all the information. Like, how was that back in the day when you were starting college being like, hey, and first of all, like when you answer that, like what was your heaviest you were? You know what I mean? Like your stats and stuff.
My heaviest, I was 235.
235. And how tall are you?
I am 5'5".
5'5". Okay. Okay. And what was your goal weight, if you don't mind me asking?
My goal weight was 142.
142.
Yeah,
Now, was that put on by Weight Watchers, or was that like a personal goal?
that was just
Like
a personal goal.
a personal goal? Okay, well,
Yeah.
good for you. A lot of people, they get like that BMI goal and they're just like, nope, nope. So that's good that you have that. So how was it, like getting back to that, how was it back in the day, like to do it? Because that was probably, let's see, you're 25 now. So 3 years ago, even probably college was 2 or 3 years, right? So that was even way before then. So how was that? Like, how were we app wise integrating, all that stuff back then?
It wasn't as advanced. Like all the foods weren't there, but I still got a gist of what was going on,
Hmm.
and it was so much easier. I was a college student, could not afford anything extreme, and I love that it was so accessible, so affordable. Loved
Yeah.
that aspect of it, and I mean, it was harder back then, but it was almost easier because you don't have media, but then you do now, so it's easier to have friends that do the same thing. I did not realize there was this many in the iTrackBites community, and I actually have over the past 2 or 3 months, I have found more and more in this community, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we always, that's one thing us ambassadors and all that stuff try to help with is really to get some accounts and get people going. A lot of people on here in the comments, you'll find that they're brand new and it's like, what can I do to kind of, get sustainability? What can I do to get people to kind of cheer me on? And it's like social media is where it's at right now. And we're really trying to focus on that because back in the day, Points Plus back in the day, you didn't have that. You only had which I'm guessing, did you go to meetings like at that
I,
time or was it
I
online?
didn't know. It was all online for me.
Okay, so then not even just that. I was thinking, if you were with meetings in person, being a young person, you know what I mean, that kind of hard. I remember back in the day doing Points Plus when it first came out and being really young and no one. It was like people in their 40s or 50s that were like, "Hey, I want to lose, so much weight." They had it at like the Methodist church that you could go to for like the meeting, and I was like, not really my style. Being a 20-something-year-old guy, that's not really my style to be with a whole bunch of women inside of a church like that. But no, so that's pretty cool. So so I'm guessing right now, currently you're on Points Plus or you're on Carb Conscious, correct?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing? Okay. Have you tried any of our other programs? What got you to doing Points Plus and then, getting back on it? Because I'm trying to think in my head, Points Plus went away after probably you had the baby and all that stuff. So how was that for you to did you try Smart Points? Did you try anything like
I did try Smart Points, and I lost a little bit on Smart Points, but then when it went to freestyle on the normal Weight Watchers, I just couldn't. That was too much free food, and I don't really eat eggs because I can't have the white of an egg. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
it's pointless there. I just couldn't get with it. And
Yeah.
I have tried Better Balance though. When I do need to, if I'm stuck in a rut with my weight or I'm just need something to refresh, I will try the Better Balance on iTrackBites for a week or two, kind of get me
Yeah.
kick started again, and then I'll go back to Points
Carb.
Plus, the Carb Conscious plan.
Yeah.
I like my sweets, and I just can't kick my sweets,
Yeah.
and I'm still losing weight eating my sweets, so I'd rather stick with my Carb Conscious. So
No, I totally get you. And that's the funny thing is, like, I recently had to go on a more ketogenic, low carb diet for the doctor and all that stuff for the first 90 days that we're doing this. And I never realized I wasn't a sweet person before, but I guess the fact that I'm like, I don't need to eat it, it's not that I can't eat it, but it's like, I'm not going to, that's kind of hard because it's like at my work, everybody's bringing in like, brownies and cupcakes and good Lord, I have a hospice guy that's coming on Monday that's bringing our whole crew donuts. And I'm like, of course this would happen. So I completely understand that. And like my wife, she's a sweet person. You know what I mean? She bakes cookies and loves all that stuff. So she's like, I don't know. It was like life or death, like you are right now. I would go low carb, but she's like, until then, I like my cookies and stuff. And I'm like, hey, more power to you. So how many, if you don't mind me asking, how many bites a day do you get on the Carb Conscious plan for you right now?
I get 26.
So you get the lowest amount.
Yes.
Okay. So put it into perspective for a lot of people that are on here right now that are new, that get around that 26 to 30 range. Because do you remember kind of when you were at your heaviest on points plus what your daily point value was of that?
I want to think it was 32.
32. Okay, so going from 32 to 26, how do you maintain at 26 right now? You know what I mean? Like, what's your day like for eating for you? Like, I know we can find it on Instagram. You always post pictures of your food and stuff like that. But, like, what's a true normal day? Just like, hey, I got a little kid running around. I'm trying to, I work full time, all this stuff, yada, yada.
I average about 26 to 30 a day. I try not to make every day a 30 day, but sometimes it happens. It depends on if I've been up for a really long time and I get hungry and I get a little snacky in the evenings. That's when I kind of go over, but I still kind of try to stick in that range.
Okay. What's your food like your meals like for you? I know that's like what everybody always asks. They're always like food inspiration. Like, what are we eating for breakfast? What are we eating for lunch?
I try to drink like a protein shake or oatmeal in the morning because I'm running from morning to we get to sit down at lunch for a lunch break. I don't have time to really grab a bite, and right now I really don't because we're in PPE, and I just can't go take all that off and go get a bite. So I need something to keep me full.
Yeah.
And I try to keep my breakfast lower points because I'm more of a lunch and a dinner eater than I am a breakfast eater.
Gotcha.
So I keep that, and then at lunch I try to keep it low to medium points, no more than like 8 points, and try to have some protein, and then I will have a snack when I leave work to make it till dinner. So
Gotcha. So your dinners are, I'm guessing, like, is your husband on? Like, how is your husband? Is he, is he on a weight loss journey too? Is he kind of, doesn't need to, yada yada?
He can eat whatever he wants and be fit. He has a physical, demanding job. He's a lineman, so he works out in the heat, climbs the pole. Yeah. He can eat whatever. I do pack his lunch, and we try to pack it healthy. Yeah. But for dinner, he can eat whatever. And he can eat 10 cookies.
So, you're one of those people that, like, you save your points for dinner because like, hey, if he's wanting spaghetti, I mean, we're going to make spaghetti, but that way, that's kind of always me and my wife. We would have these hearty meals. I'd come from work and my wife would make me dinner and it would be like, oh, all the carbs and bread and all that stuff. And it's like, well, good thing I saved my points for the rest of the day. Yes. So I am a very big protein shake person. So is this like a homemade protein shake that you do? Is it like a Premier? Is it like what's that like in the morning for you?
I have to have dairy-free shakes. So my options aren't as much as everybody. Yeah. But I like the Herbalife shakes. Okay. And I am Gameful. I like to get on there and make my own protein blend. Really? Those tend to be in less points than a Herbalife shake because it does have more flavoring. But and for consistency and flavor, I love to do a frozen banana and almond milk and my protein. And sometimes I'll add flavor and sometimes I don't even need flavor. That's enough flavor for me. So
yeah, no, I get you. One thing I love you said was like Herbalife and all that stuff because we have a kind of Herbalife shop or whatever they're called. I'm talking about like this is the new thing. Well, it was last year, which is always nice. And actually, if you, no matter what plan you're following, either calories or carb conscious or better balance, like, have you ever been to one of those before? Because I used to go to a lot.
They're just now getting big where I live.
Okay, so I would go there like once or twice a week. It was just great to get a good breakfast on the go. Don't have to worry about it. But one thing that was nice is our place would I'd be like, hey, can you let me know what the calories are? Or hey, can you let me know what this is? And they always had them. You know what I mean? So it's a very good option for it. So I really like that. It's not all about the whole making money. It's they do have quality products out there. So that's good to know. So let's talk about where your goals are right now during this COVID-19 pandemic, yada, yada, 2020 down the drain.
I'm just trying to stay healthy. We're currently on quarantine at my house, and so it's been something new because we have not been in quarantine. We went on quarantine Thursday.
Gotcha.
So trying not to, trying to get out of the house and not eat everything in this house
No,
has
I get
been hard, but I'm just trying to positive mindset and stay healthy. That's just the main thing right now.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Especially working in healthcare, it's always freaky because you're coming in contact with everybody. Like
Yes.
today, like yesterday, I took one of my residents to the dentist. So then here I am at the dentist in front of everybody. You know what I mean? And then I had to take her to the doctor's office today. Another one to the doctor's office today. So now I'm in a doctor's office that people go to that are sick. You know what I mean? And it's like constant back and forth. And I'm just like, I wish I could work at home, but I can't. You know what I mean? But so I definitely feel you right there being on quarantine because I couldn't imagine it right now. Maybe to get away from work just a little bit, but other than that, that's about it. So now, I mean, what are some? So of course, your long-term goal probably was to get back down to goal. You know what I mean? Which you're getting there. So what is your pretty much like? What are some short-term goals that you got? Like not COVID related, just like we're already at the end of August almost. So like, what's some things for the rest of the year to get you pumped for 2021?
I would like to I only have like 10 pounds to get back down to my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to get there by at least Thanksgiving or Christmas. Either one would be fine. And that is one short-term goal. And because maybe next year we might have another little one if that's in the plans. If not,
Okay.
But I want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get back into my postpartum clothing and my scrubs, so I don't have to buy any more.
Yeah.
That's another short-term goal. And I would like to be more vigilant about working out, trying to get a good workout system in with a toddler.
And that was the next thing I was going to ask you was exercising. Like, you know what I mean? I know that you being a CODA, you're helping people with their occupational therapy stuff, stuff like that. How is that for you? Like, of course, you're physical at work, you know what I mean? Because you're bending over, you're getting these people, you're doing all these range of motions, yada, yada. How is that like when you get off work? Are you like me and like, I worked all day, I'm just going home and there we go type thing?
I am really tired when I get home usually, but after dinner, we try to take our little one outside, and he doesn't know how to walk. He knows how to run.
He knows how to run. Oh.
So if it wasn't for that, I mean, it's too hot right now, but I like to take him, on a stroller walk when it's not so hot.
When it's not so hot.
Yes, and walking is my main thing of weight loss, my main exercise. That's what I've done this whole time is just walking. And when I was younger, I did a little bit of a boot camp, but that's not reasonable right now with our schedules and having a little one. So just getting out and walking is what mine is.
Do you have like a gym membership, or you solely just, hey, if I exercise, it's exercising at home with my little one? And
yes, because it's about 45 minutes to the nearest gym.
Gotcha.
And so it's too hard to get. We live in a very small town. I do work in a big city, but I would have to drive and get there way earlier, and they don't have good class times, and it just never worked out. So I have about a 45-minute to an hour lunch break, and I'll try to walk around the track twice then, and then I'd come home and run with him. So
yeah. We had I used to work in nursing homes before I went to assisted living this past year. That's where all my career was. And right where I was at for probably 10 years of my career, there was a park right next door to our nursing home. And it had the best walking path. And it was like 4 laps was a mile. And me and my social service director would hurry up every day. We'd scarf down our lunch, and then we would go and walk the 4 laps. But by God, it's hot out and it's 100 degrees and I'm wearing like dress clothes. I'm like, I can't do this no more. So we did it for a while and it was fun. So I completely understand that. And we live in we're a rural town, but we got a couple thousand people in there. But like my town I grew up in when I was growing up was like, I think 1,000 people, if that, 800 people in the town. So there was no gyms. There was no nothing. Yeah, no nothing. A lot of people on here, I'm reading their comments, they're saying, of course, have you heard of Leslie Sansone, like walk at home, all that stuff. So what are some good advice you got, like for some people right now. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot there. We have probably about almost 100 people on Facebook right now. Just like what are some things that you would like to do to be like, hey, I wish I would have known this. You know what I mean? When I was first starting way back in the day.
I wish I would have known that it's not always going to be easy, but stick with it. You may be a turtle pace, maybe slow, but you will get there. The slower, sometimes I've learned, is the healthier.
Yeah.
If it's a fast pace, it's hard to stick with it. I feel like that's why I have stuck with this program so long, and my weight loss has stayed down to where it needs to be, is because I did it slowly. Be active. And if you don't like a food, don't force yourself to eat it just because it's low in points. That's no fun.
Yeah. Or free food or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's a very good one, because a lot of people don't realize that. They always think, and don't worry about being perfect. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like everybody is so scared with social media to be like, it's got to be the perfect post. And I'm like, just showing up. I don't even care if you're like just a story person. I'm a story person. I'd rather talk to you for 55 hours on a story than to spend 3 hours to do a post. You know what I mean? Taking the perfect photo, all that stuff. So talking into that now, what got you into Instagram? You know what I mean? To where you're at right now on there.
I followed a lot of people before I got the courage to make one. And I decided, hey. And then once I did, I was like, this is keeping me on track.
Yeah.
I know what I'm eating. I know my patterns. And it gave me great ideas. It gave me the same people were doing the same struggles I was doing, or they were having the same successes. And it's just a really good community.
Yeah, no, that's like, I always say, it's a little intimidating at first to get on the social media. You know what I mean? But once you're on there, it really is just like a community. Kind of like what you were saying. Like, what made you, when you came over to iTrackBites, like, I know, and Brianna Diva and Divine, me and her are really good friends. She actually brought me over from Weight Watchers to iTrackBites a long time ago. And I kind of feel like it's grown in such a year, honestly, a year of our lives. That's just crazy how many members we have now. But like, what did you think how long ago was it that you transferred over to us?
It's been several months, and it's been on and off. I think I did it before I had my second son, so I transferred over before then, and then when I finally got back on it. So it's probably been since January I got back on it again. So I've been on it several months.
Yeah, and we have such a good family on it. You know what I mean? We have such a good support system. That's the crazy part. I always tell people, go on the website. A lot of people like think I'm crazy. Go on the website. You're going to see all your coaches and all of your ambassadors, and just them alone. You start following them or looking into their journey, there are going to be so many people around them. You know what I mean? That you're going to be like, wow, next thing you know, you're following like 2,000 people, and you're like, wow, there's really this many people in our iTrackBites community. It's kind of crazy.
Yes.
Somebody just asked, what is your Instagram name, if you want to say that?
It's healthymama_Bray, BRAY.
Gotcha. So somebody just asked, I'm going to pull this up on the screen real quick. This is a good one. So did you change your diet much to help you lose weight, like during the process? You know what I mean? Were there things that you kind of cut out?
I cut out pop, no normal or soda. I know everybody calls it something different. I try to I don't hardly drink diet pop either. I love it, but I know that it makes me gain weight sometimes. Crazy enough, even diet.
Really?
So I did cut that out. I did not cut out Mexican food. I will say, if you eat it in portion, you can still lose weight, and I am proof of that because I had Mexican food a lot. I just portioned it out and ate it with some green beans because I love green beans. So it'll work.
It'll work. That's a good one, honestly. Just going through some of these questions that people have. So my question to you is, because I'm a very big Apple Watch, Fitbit person. Apple Watch? All right.
Apple.
So curiosity for me is with your work schedule and stuff, how many steps a day are you getting working at the nursing home?
I think I get between 10 and 12 just at work
What's
sometimes.
that work? That's
So,
so crazy.
yes. And then some days it's not. It just depends on what kind of day it is.
Yeah. Me being the coda. So like, I know that there are some codas out there that are like a manager type thing in nursing homes. Is that kind of who you are for the thing, or are you just
I'm just Dakota. I have an OT in the building over me, and then I'm the only coda in the building.
so
And then
like
we have 3 PTs, or we have 1 PT and 2 PTAs and a speech. So,
in a speech? Yeah. Now, are you firmly just at this nursing home type thing? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yes.
And that's a blessing. That's a blessing right there that you only have to be at one place.
Yes, because up until a year and a half ago, I was not. I was traveling.
Yeah. And
And I
people don't.
know right now it wouldn't work.
Traveling sucks. It
Yes.
does. It does. Especially because it's like you're in the car. So then, yes, you're getting physical activity when you're working, but you still have to drive. Like I've known codas and PTAs that I, grew up with that they like even around here, they work for a certain company, but that company is in all these nursing homes. So they
That's
have,
the way we are.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And we never really over at the nursing home I came from. We had a coda, and that was pretty much the therapy manager type thing. He had all the people that came in. So that's pretty cool. So do you ever have you heard of NEAT? I've talked about that on the live before and kind of like how that kind of helps you because I'm guessing your NEAT is much higher now than what it was when you were in college or what it was before college. So like that is going to be a little tricky for you for the next 2 weeks being quarantined at home because you're used to getting those 10 to 12 to 15,000 steps a day. Does that kind of worry you a little bit?
Yeah. Today my parents have a pool, and we social distancing from them. So we made sure they weren't home. So my little boy wouldn't throw a fit, but we went and got in the pool today.
Yeah.
Taking him outside. Just trying. We're not trying to sleep in. Trying to go to bed at a normal time. Trying to keep everything normal as we can.
So when we said your oldest, how old is he?
He turned 2 in June.
2 in June. That's crazy. That is such an awesome time. Honestly, that's such an awesome time. Next thing you know, he's gonna be 6 like my son, and then you're
I
gonna
know.
let time go. So somebody asked on here, how much water do you drink a day?
Oh, I drink a lot. I know after I drink, I have a 40-ounce cup, and I know after I drink 2 of those by lunch, I usually don't count my water, but I do drink a lot of, Crystal Light flavored water after that.
Yeah.
Well, at least 80 ounces.
At least 80 ounces. That's a lot. I mean, that's good. So I'm trying to think see if there's anything else on here. So let me ask you this now. What is motivation for you? You know what I mean? Like, what motivates you on a daily basis to keep going? Or what, is there a certain thing you do that kind of is like, this is what's helped me? You know what I mean?
Being able to be active with my child. He's very active. That keeps me going. I know he's only going to get more active.
You will.
And like this summer, he has a little kid's water slide. It's made for little kids. He wants mama on it. So mama has to get on it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I am at an appropriate weight. I was able to get on the slide, the bouncy house slide with him.
Really? That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, I was able to sit in the middle of it. You can't slide down it exactly because, it's made for little ones.
Yeah.
But I was able to get in it with him. I mean, that's what motivates me every day.
Yeah, no, that's cute. So food-wise, let's talk about food real quick for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like what types of foods? You like Mexican food, but what are some of your staples that you have to have in your journey? Like, for me, of course, Premier Protein. I have a Profi every morning. I mean, that's been my whole thing.
Oatmeal,
Uh,
protein shakes. I like chicken and shrimp, usually at lunch. Healthy chips, like baked chips, pop chips,
yeah,
snacky stuff, hummus. I love fruit. My fruit is my go-to.
really.
You want something sweet? I love fruit. Excuse me. I love taking like the little fruit cups and freezing them, and then they're kind of slushiest by lunch.
Really?
They're kind of my staple there. Pickles, for some reason, always in my journey, pickles have been. You get hungry, you go grab a pickle.
That's
Um,
funny.
I love rice. Right. When I lost my original weight, I did a knockoff Mexican rice. Rice was my staple. It kept me full with the protein and green beans. So I try to make lunch. That's in my lunch. Now dinner, I never can depend on what dinner is. But I try to keep breakfast and lunch simple and what I know is going to keep me full.
Simple and easy. No,
Yes.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you ever meal prep or anything for your breakfast and lunch, or just kind
I
of?
don't breakfast, but lunches I try to meal prep. I try to think ahead and try to have everything either put in a bowl together or planned out what I'm going to have.
Yeah, no. You always got to be versatile with everything, you know. That's just food is just so many people always ask about food, and it's like for like normally successful ones or people that have been successful on program, no matter what plan you're on. Normally it's repetitiveness, and that's kind of the hard thing. You know, people are like, "What's this? What are you eating?" You know, all this stuff, and it's just like, "Well, I have oatmeal every day." You know what I mean? And that's sustainable for me. Or I drink a protein shake every day. It's not something magical. It's not a magic pill. It's just finding what works for you because you're going to find, which you probably have success in this, you know, you are repetitive, you're successful. So once you see that, hey, I'm losing weight, I'm keeping it off, I'm maintaining, when you maintain your goal weight, you're still doing those healthy habits that you have. So somebody said, same girl, I keep pickles in stock. That's funny. Somebody asked on here, what time do you stop eating during the day? Like, is there a certain time? Or you kind of just like go with the flow? I'm a nighttime munchie, like you had said, you know.
I try my best to not eat past 7:30 or 8. Sometimes it's real hard and I just have to. When you get those munchies and you're like, okay, I need a bite of something. But I
Yeah.
try not to eat past 7 or 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Gotcha. So, is there anything that you buy specifically for just you? You know what I mean? Like that you're just like, this is mine. Of course, you got a little one, 2 year old, your husband, you know, all that stuff. Like, what on your grocery list is like, I buy this for me. Do not. You know what I mean? Because I know we all have that. Like, I'm literally right now, I have this, and my son literally took it. I don't even know where I'm in the kitchen. It's a blue raspberry electrolyte squeeze thingy for your water. I am obsessed with them. And even today, I bought it from work. I normally don't. I keep it in my desk drawer. I brought it home from work tonight. And he's like, can I please have that in water? And I'm like, no, Easton. And he's like, please. And so I give it to him. He only drank one sip. He goes, yeah, I don't really like that. I'm like, you just made me waste it.
Smart sweets. I love the smart sweets. That is one. I think, I know I like my trail mix, and I like to pick out what I want and weigh it. I know everybody doesn't want to eat the pretzels, and I do not want to eat the pretzels, but I don't want to waste my points on the pretzels. So just let me have my favorite.
Yeah.
Pop chips. I do have pop chips stored. That's
Gotcha.
and my sugar-free popsicles. My kid wants my popsicles. I'm like, you can have the normal. I want my sugar-free.
Yep. Especially with like smart sweets, you know, those get pretty pricey. That's my thing is when it's a little pricier. Like, of course, I'm just making jokes with Easton about my little $2 thingy that's going to last me all week, $2 a week. But I kind of feel like that with anything. You get something in the store and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, this is what I really like. Or I'm trying to think of what else. I had bought something and I was getting it online and it was just like, nope, don't ask me for it. You know what I mean? Don't ask me for it because that is mine. It costs money and I'll My wife's the same way though. My wife will get stuff all the time, grocery shopping, and I'll be like, "Oh, that looks good." And she's like, "Don't touch it. That's mine." So completely, yeah. So how is your husband with your weight loss journey? Like how does he help you succeed? You know what I mean? It's always it takes no matter if it's just one that's doing it, you know, whether it's your husband or you, but it definitely takes, you know, your spouse to be either on board or to give you encouragement. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure, you know, you saying his metabolism is high. You know, he is a lineman, so it's kind of like you can eat whatever you want. How is that with you?
He's very, very supportive. And sometimes I can even get him to try some of my crazy healthy, we call them healthy. I mean, they're just swaps. And sometimes he's like, I wouldn't have known that was healthy unless you told me. So he's very supportive. We'll try anything. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's why he helps me.
Yeah. So how is I love how I'm keep talking about food. It's just because I'm like drinking my coffee and it's not food right now and it's 9 o'clock my time. But like, so besides Mexican food, like let's talk about eating out. Like, how is that with you eating out? I know the reason why I'm asking this is because I seem like with my following, that's the number one question I always get asked is people are like, Jordan, how are you staying on track with eating out? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's really not that hard when you just, so I know if I'm going to Chili's, like, especially now with being like my diet is completely flipped around, but like from before with Carb Conscious, like I'm on the app and I'm looking to see how many points this is, how many points this is. Like if I do get chips and salsa, which I know my wife's going to be like, hey, let's split the chips and salsa. How much is a half a thing of chips and salsa? Because I know that's what I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? How's that? Like, how do you stay successful with eating out? Especially working in a city because you go there, so it's probably, you know, temptations there.
Yes, I try not to eat out much. I expect right now we can't hardly eat out unless we get something to go at work, which hardly ever now. But eating out, I will pick the healthiest option I can, like you, and I will plan it into my day. And if there isn't that much of a healthy option to pick, I will try to cut my portion down and make it into like 2 or 3 meals. And for instance, my mom brought me some.
So like you'll get the whole entire meal and be like, hey, this is going to be lunch for like the next 2 days. Enjoy it now.
Yes.
There's enough leftover. Okay, that's a good idea. I've never actually, believe it or not, I've never thought of that. Maybe it's because I always eat it all, but that's a good. Do you know Finding Logan? Do you follow Finding Logan?
I love her. Yes,
yeah,
I love her.
Logan all the time with her salads from Texas Roadhouse. It's always like, hey, this is for 2 days. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Because Texas Roadhouse is bomb.
It's good.
So what's one of your favorite restaurants that you guys used to go to? Of course, pre-pandemic, but, you know.
Longhorn.
Longhorn?
We love Longhorn. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That sounds really good, actually. Maybe it's because I'm hungry, like I said. I actually just, believe it or not, a couple weeks ago, I posted on my stories, but I went to Texas Roadhouse for like literally the first time since I was like a very, very young kid. And I'm like, man, I have missed this place. Like we have Texas Corral. It's like a branch of Texas Roadhouse. So I was in an area that had it and I was like, these kind of taste the exact same. The bread, you know what I mean? And the honey butter and all that stuff. My wife's like, that's because it's the same thing. Ours is Chili's. We have to go to Chili's. Chili's is me and my wife's absolute favorite. Besides Mexican, we do love Mexican.
Yeah, we eat Mexican.
But it's always been takeout, and Mexican is so hard with takeout.
It is.
You know, especially you get like and cheese. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Let's back up. You told me that way back in the day you were doing it with your mother, correct? Like how was her journey? Like was she as successful on it as you? You know what I mean? I know she's much older.
She was when we first started. She was very successful, and we had some family issues and everything, and she ended up getting gastric bypass. So she's been on her weight loss journey right before my first son was born. So she's been on that weight loss journey, and I've been on that weight loss journey. So
And hey, I will tell anybody this. I have a very close colleague, well, ex-colleague that we used to work together, and she had gastric bypass done. And I will tell anybody till the day I die that it is not an easy way out. I think
Mm-mm.
it's like an easy way out to be like, oh, you're just going to go get surgery, and there we go. And I'm like, nope, my friend is a living proof. I could not do it. I could
Mm-mm.
not go. And she literally told me because we like I remember she had it done, and like within a year or two, she had lost the majority of the weight. You know what I mean? And I was finally talking to her about it, and I was like, "So how was it?" Because I'm always curious. I'm a curious person. Like I just want to know everything. And she's like, "Literally, you have to have like your mental state in check because you get to the point where it's literally thoughts of I can't do this no more."
Yes.
And especially in that little amount of time after post-op when it's literally just liquid. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I commend your mom because it's not an easy choice. And people
It's
think
not.
that, and I'm like, it's not. So, that's pretty cool. So, like, does she do social media or she just kind of
She
like,
doesn't. Not really.
got to get her on there. People are
I
going to
need
love it.
to. I need to.
Get her on there and like hashtag, her stuff, and then people will be finding her, and then she'll have more followers than me and you. But you know what I mean? That's how it always seems to happen like that. So, what are some of your hobbies that you have, if you don't mind me asking, besides work, of course, work and family, but like, that you do try to find because mental state and about you and stuff like that is very important on a weight loss journey. You got to find that equal balance is what it is. You have to have balance. You can't just be like, oh, I'm only doing it for this person or I'm doing this for my son or whatever. Like there's got to be some of that me time. So like how do you find that balance working a full-time job with a 2-year-old with your husband working full-time?
We love to ride four-wheelers. I love to swim. My me time, I would love bubble baths. Just taking them. That's when I can just let it all go.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Sometimes my me time is quiet time at night, and it's just honestly scrolling through Instagram and just seeing what everybody's day was like, their successes and their struggles, and just kind of reading through that, just kind of shutting my world out and getting into Instagram and looking to see what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Do you think that social media kind of plays a big part in your journey now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of losing those other 10 pounds to maintaining all that stuff
Yeah.
than it was like before, because way back in the day, when I was on Points Plus way back in the day, we had Facebook because it was college. You were able to do it in college. There was no Instagram. There was no Snapchat, anything like that. It was literally just, hey, what's the homework assignment for tonight? So it wasn't how it is now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So social media plays a big role in your journey.
Yes.
Awesome. What is so with your social media, what do you like? What do you hope people see out of you? Like as far as like what your account is, what you do, you know what I'm saying? That kind of makes sense.
Even if you have a bad day or you've had something dramatic happen or something's hard, that you can get through it and be creative, do it for you, love yourself the whole time, not just when you think you've made it to your skinnier version. I'd rather not use that. I want you to get to your healthiest version, but I want you to love yourself through the whole thing. And just have fun and enjoy life.
I love that. Honestly. And I love how like I'm not bashing anybody or any other company, but like, I know from a lot of my friends that still do Weight Watchers, their big thing with getting on to goal weight is because they're sick and tired of paying a monthly fee. They want that goal weight, so it's free, they're a lifetime member, all this stuff. And I kind of feel like with us, you pay anywhere, you pay $35 a year. It's kind of it kind of helps you come into terms of what's my goal weight. You know what I mean? You don't, because when you go on our app, you don't put in that and they tell you what your goal weight should be. It's literally, hey, how much your stats, how many pounds you want to lose a week. You know what I mean? Put you in that caloric deficit. But it's never being like, hey, Cody, you're this tall, you're this, you need to weigh this. And I feel like just that right there keeps it going because you get to know, hey, you know what I mean? You said your lowest is like 145, 148, somewhere around there, correct? Is that what you had said before?
142. 142 around there.
Okay. But this time around, you could get down to 148 or 145 and be like, I'm at my goal. This is what I'm happy with. And there's no more of 2 pounds. You know what I mean? Got to be in that range of 2 pounds. And it drives some of my friends insane. You know what I mean? Because then they get down there, they get a month or two of free, and then they, gain some weight back, and then they go right back to it again. And I'm like, we don't need that. We just need to not be stressed out. You know what I mean? It kind of sounded like with your journey, you pretty much just make it as easy as you can for you to sustain it. And that's probably how you do that. Now, real quick, because we're almost done, one last question I wanted to ask you. Sarah, one of our moderators and all that stuff here that kind of helps me out. She is a very good friend of mine on here, and we also have Sherry on here. They are maintainers, so they are in maintenance mode. I want you, because some people I talk on here haven't been to maintenance yet, haven't gotten a goal to maintain. So how was it like to switch over to that maintaining mode? You know what I mean? Rather than the weight loss. I hear from a lot of people, myself, I've gotten down to like 5 pounds away from goal. You know what I mean? Before, but I've never actually hit to where it's like, oh, I get to switch the knob. You go to maintenance. You know what I mean? Like, how was that for you? And how did you keep it going? You know what I mean? What's that mindset?
It was a different mindset because your mind is not like, hey, I need to lose, I need to lose, I need to lose. What I did is I ate good throughout the week. I tried not to have any extra, points I would track. But to maintain, Saturday and Sunday, I would eat what I wanted to eat in moderation. Keep in mind, don't go all out crazy on a weekend. But I would, treat myself to something here and there. And that's really what worked for me, is not tracking on the weekends and just tracking during the week when I hit maintenance, to kind of give my, mental self a break. And it worked for me that way.
Gotcha. That's actually a very good, I've heard that happen. For me, way back in the day when I first lost all my weight the first time, I literally took Sunday off. From the very first time that I stepped on the scale to figure out what I was to get my points value, I never tracked Sundays. You know what I mean? And I stayed Monday through Saturday in my daily range. I didn't go into my weeklies. I just set a mindset of, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. But that is very interesting, especially in the maintaining mode. You know what I mean? And it gives yourself, because when you go into maintenance, you got to figure it out. It's totally different. Like you said, you're so itching when you're losing weight to be like, oh, did I lose weight this week? Oh, please, Lord, say I lost a pound. Say I lost a half a pound. Now you're like, okay, I'm where I'm at. I don't need to keep losing weight, but now you're going to try not to gain weight. That's a very good aspect. I really like that. Someone just said, please repeat your Instagram tag one more time before we get off.
It's Healthy Mama _ Bray. BRAY.
Healthy Mama _ Bray. There we go. I just posted on there for them so they can have that. So is there anything else you would like to tell us, kind of before we get on? This was an awesome time, and thank you so much for joining. But, I mean, is there anything else you would want to tell us if we haven't talked about it?
I think we've covered everything. I really enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, no, this was awesome. I hope you guys feel better. I hope you guys, quarantine goes good, and, it happens to everybody. I mean, and that's the scary thing real quick to say that, my sister works for the state, the health department, and she's always just like, it's really right now not about who, but kind of like when. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing. I think that's becoming our new normal, is knowing like, eventually when is it going to happen? When is it going to hit your household? But hey, keep you, your husband, and your 2-year-old safe, because that's the best thing that we can all do here.
Yes.
And have a safe trip back to when you get to go back to work. And I know that, like I said, I will thank you for being a frontline worker, a healthcare worker, because I have such a passion for the elderly. That's why I've done it since I was 15 years old, been in healthcare, to where I love finding people that was their passion in some sort, whether you're a housekeeper or a CNA or like you, a coach, that you found that passion to work for the elderly, because I just had somebody today came in that's moving into our assisted living, and like, way back I was in a World War II veteran and all this stuff, blah, 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 and this was supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I completely understand that, and that's what we're here for, is to serve the, they helped us so much, so it's that time. So thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
This was an awesome time tonight, and I totally appreciate you coming on. Thank you for rearranging your schedule. Tell your husband I said thank you for getting him to get the kid to bed, because I know it's last minute. That's how everything is, but I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for hopping on tonight. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. Jordan Clay here from Clyde's Daily Life. This was a fantastic live with Cody. I hope you guys completely enjoyed everything. We talked about pretty much everything on here. It was awesome. Don't forget on Instagram, the replay for 24 hours. And then also it will be on Facebook, iTrackBites Facebook page, and that it will just stay there permanently. So go ahead and give it a share, get people tagged on it, let them see it. So without further ado, I'm going to hop off here. It's pretty much quitting time, and I hope you guys have a great night. Hope everybody's safe and healthy. Hope that I can see you guys again next week, Tuesday,